Hey everyone, Brittany Carmichael here, bringing you Woo Woo Wednesday, your live weekly tarot reading where I tune into the energy of the cards to see what we need to pay attention to. This week has been intense. We had a full moon and lunar eclipse last night, and it was intense. I just came off the goddess gathering, and so many women were opening up and letting go of what's been holding them back from really stepping into who they authentically are. So today's reading, I have a feeling, is going to be all about expressing your authenticity and really allowing your natural self to come through, that version of yourself that you've been dreaming of. Like, you visualize her in your mind and you see her, and maybe you aren't actually fully in alignment with that vision. And this full moon, this retrograde, 6 planets in retrograde, including Mercury, so everyone's losing their shit. I feel like this is a time where we're rebirthing ourselves, and we're really giving ourselves permission to let go of the things that don't work for us in our lives anymore and really embrace the things that feel good to us. That's going to be the new barometer of finding what works in our life. How does this feel? So I'm going to take a minute to say hello to everyone who's live. I see you guys live, but just like in Mercury retrograde fashion, the comments are not showing up today. So hopefully they'll pop up. I have pulled my Archangel Power Tarot cards. I've been doing coaching calls and tarot readings literally all day, so this deck is on fire, and I figured I would just continue the conversation. We'll go ahead and use this tarot deck. I just want to give a special update announcement that the Oracle deck, the Shine from the Inside Oracle deck that I'm creating, will be done soon. Jenna is putting some finishing touches on the box design, and I am finishing up designing the guidebook right now, and it is a thing. Like, it's actually happening. It feels so good. So we should be launching in the next, I would say, 60 days. So get ready for this beautiful Oracle deck to be birthed. I'm just so excited. Okay, now the comments are popping up. Hello, Haley. Hey, Alex, Brandy, Isa, Jacqueline. It's so good to see you. Hey, Jenny. Yay. Okay, comments are working. We are back. We are in full swing and ready to go. I tell you what, this retrograde has wiped my energy out completely. I've been napping way more than usual, and all of technology has been malfunctioning. Instagram is not working right now. My Zoom calls with all my coaching clients this week have frozen or turned off. It has just been a hot mess with technology. Is anyone else in this boat? All your technology is freaking malfunctioning. I mean, I feel like it's the universe's way of saying well, just let it go and rest, take time off. So for me, I'm also having to find the balance between, I'm in birth mode. I'm birthing a project that I've been working on for so long. And in that fashion, of course, a lot of energy is required to bring it to fruition. But on the other hand, it's summer, and I just want to play, and I just want to have a good old time. And hold on, just pulled a card. It flipped over. I won't look. Okay. And I just want to play. It's summertime. But for me, I can't just abandon ship on my Oracle deck when we're so close to being done. So I'm having to find the balance in life. Another card came up when I said the word balance. Anyone else need balance in their life right now? Let me know in the comments. Hey, Anne. Hey, Ashley. I cut my hair. That's how my retrograde is going. We all need some sort of release. And I have found, as a hairdresser for over a decade, that anytime someone comes in for a haircut, not like a trim, but an actual haircut, it's because there's old energy and stale, stagnant energy that wants to be released and let go of. And what better way to have a rebirth or a fresh start than cutting your hair and having a new style? Obviously why I love being a hairdresser and a transformation coach. It really pairs so perfectly together. So anytime I see a woman cutting their hair, I always ask them, what are you letting go of? And I have them visualize all of the energy or the negative aspects that have been maybe weighing them down, or the fears or whatever it may be that they're wanting to release. I have them visualize that as I'm actually cutting the hair off, and that to me acts as an amazing symbolic ritual for them to let go. Now, last night at the Goddess Gathering, we had a full moon release ritual with fire and all. So Obviously, if you're not in the Frisco area and you can't attend live, I've created a blog so that you can actually go through the step-by-step on how to go through your own release ritual. And I've also included a free guided meditation. So if you're someone right now who's like, fuck this retrograde, it's too much, emotions are heavy, I need help getting, like, sorting through them and lifting them and feeling lighter, then I highly recommend going through that process of doing that release ritual along with following the guided meditation. That thing is a miracle worker for making you feel like all of those burdens and all that extra stress, you've probably been making it a little too hard on yourself and not necessarily needing to make it hard on yourself. This meditation will help you to just kind of take your foot off the brake. It'll help you to breathe and like expand a little bit bigger and give you that freedom of like weightlessness. I can finally let go of all of this heaviness. Is there any heaviness that is coming up for you right now that you're like, I've been carrying this resentment, or I've been carrying this guilt or this blame for too long and I need to let it go? Go ahead and drop that in the comments below. Like, say goodbye. Hey Heidi, hello Calliope. Yes, a rebirth. I had a beautiful older woman come to the Goddess Gathering last night, and I can't help it, but I love to draw on everyone's hand, like draw like a little goddess tattoo or something. And what I have found, I never knew this was a thing, but I am super intuitive when it comes to drawing on people's arms. Like, I'll draw certain designs that represent certain aspects in their life. And last night I started drawing on this older lady's arm, and I just looked at her and I said, you're going through a rebirth. She looked at me like I was psychic, and she said, what are you, a psychic or intuitive? I was like, yes, actually I really am. And so I love to see that you're going through a rebirth as well. I think we're all collectively going through that rebirth with all of the eclipses and the retrogrades. We're being energetically asked to make an upgrade, to expand, to elevate, and to leave behind what isn't serving us anymore, what's not authentic anymore. My energy is too flighty to meditate. It's awful. Well, that's exactly when you need to meditate the most, right? They say when you don't have 5 minutes to meditate, then you need to meditate for 10, okay? So if you feel flighty, that's exactly what grounding meditations are for, to bring you back to your body. All right, I'm gonna dive into the cards for this week. Before we get started, I just wanna take a moment to say thank you for being here. And if you know a soul sister who would love this message, go ahead and tag them in the comments below before we get started. And let's see what comes up. Number 6, the Lovers comes up. I love when this card comes up because every morning I draw a tarot card. Been doing it for many, many years. Every morning I say to Chris, do you know what my card is today? Every morning he says, the Lovers. And some days it is, and some days it isn't. But today, the Lovers has shown up on Woo Woo Wednesday. And this card says, make choices from the heart. This is a card of having your own personal belief system, not necessarily needing that partner to fulfill you. It also says deeply emotional commitments and the power of love. When I see the Lovers card, it's a reminder that first and foremost, even if you're in a partnership, you are you alone. You have your own 2 feet to stand on. Don't lose your independence in this dynamic. The Lovers card is one that says you've established your personal belief, so that way when you do come to union with that perfect partner, you know who you are, you know what you stand for, and you don't get lost in the relationship. The other part of this card is a reminder that you have the ability to choose to do anything you want. And when you choose to do things that you love, that bring you joy, that light you up, you not only fulfill like a deeper soul craving that you have, but you actually start serving your mission. Because when you do things from love, you're on mission, right? It doesn't matter how that creative expression shows up. It just matters that whatever you're doing is coming from your heart center. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for tagging your soul sisters. Hey, Laura. Oh my God, your first card was the Lovers. Last time I watched your live video. So weird. Oh my gosh, that is crazy. I don't see this card pop up a lot on Woo Woo Wednesday. So Caroline, maybe there is a message for you in your romantic area, right? So this also is a card that says if you're not in that perfect partnership, if you haven't attracted that union, then it's a reminder to work on yourself. Anytime I have a single person who's saying, I want to attract my soulmate, well, you attract your soulmate with something attractive, not with something desperate, right? And when we're like, oh, I need someone else's love, we attract this desperate energy, right? And it normally shows up in the lesson that we don't like, because then it teaches us to reclaim our responsibility. But when we work on ourselves, when we do the self-care work, when we do the self-love, when we nurture ourselves and we put our business and our dreams first, then we create this energetic state that becomes like a magnet for attracting that exact replica of where you're at. So if you're coming from this like state of like, I'm alone, I don't have anyone, I need someone else to fulfill me, you're gonna attract that same type of person who's asking for the same thing. But if you take time to fill your cup, to do what you love, to follow your passions, to figure out who you are, then you raise yourself to a certain standard that attracts that same type of person that's done the self-discovery work, that is going after their passions. They're doing what they love. They're taking care of their body. And that way you guys don't have to fulfill and help and fix each other's problems. You're already coming from a firm foundation. All right, next card for this week. Ooh! Another major arcana card. So we have two major arcana cards, which means the universe is at play right now, and number 13 is the Death card of the Tarot. Now, there's no reason to get scared, because we just talked about how we are all in a rebirth. And to rebirth means we have to let go or end or, like come to a completion. And this says, release the past. There is a more enriching future. Let go and let God. This is a card of calling for trust, in that the universe would never take away something from you if there weren't something better to replace it. It's just how the law works. And if you look back at your life, you'll know that to be true, because you can see when one job ended or one negative relationship ended, it's because it was teaching you a lesson of strength and courage, resiliency, and also to set your boundaries, your worth, so that when you're presented with that kind of opportunity moving forward, you know how that feels and you know that it's not meant for you. So this rebirth is really allowing that old version of yourself to fall away and say, you know what, in the past it was this way, but I actually have a completely clear and free future for me to decide how I want to direct that energy. So to see the Death card pop up in the middle position this week and see the Lovers shows me that we are ending codependency. That is what is happening this week. Wherever we've been giving our power away or hoping for someone else to do it for us, this reading this week really symbolizes that release and trusting that you really can create a beautiful future if you trust, if you believe, if you start taking those actions that you're guided to take. What would you like? I asked you this in the beginning. What are we letting go of? With the Death card coming up and this rebirth upon us, I want to know, what is that old outdated version of you that you're letting go of? What fears have been stopping you from expressing yourself or speaking your truth? Or where have you been dulling your sparkle? Or where have you been holding yourself back and not shining? Hey, Julia, death equals rebirth. Exactly. Shedding old skins. Yes, yes, yes. I'm feeling this so much. Isa says, Laura says, yes, I've been working on this as it has been coming up a lot in the past few days. Old me, goodbye. Hello, new me. Ah, yes, I love that. I even said the same thing this week. I just told Chris this morning, I was like, just something doesn't feel right about my closet. And if you guys know me, I love fashion. That was going to be my career if I followed the corporate world, but clearly Spirit had a different plan for me. So if you know me and you walk into my closet, it is filled with clothes. I love fashion. And I walked in this morning and I looked around and I just thought to myself, none of this feels right. I feel like I've energetically outgrown this version of me who would wear these clothes, and it's time to go shopping. And not in I need to fulfill a material void, but no, I am elevating to a new version of myself, and I want to express that through the means in which we have to express our words, our actions, our outfits, our hair color. We get to choose how we want to show up. So if we talk about rebirthing ourselves, what does that next version of you look like? How does she act? How does she walk? How does she talk? What kind of clothes does she wear? I just had my first deep dive, it was our deep dive discovery for our first call with one of my coaching clients that booked with me. And she showed up with makeup, clothes, the hair, the outfit. And I said, you're already a new version of yourself. You're already elevating, because just like I told her, I'm going to tell you, it isn't about, look at me, I'm so beautiful, it's my ego, I have to put makeup on and color my hair and wear nice clothes. It's a sense of confidence that's reflected through those actions, right? It's when we show up with self-worth and we value ourselves and we believe in our beauty and we believe that we have love to give and talents to share, then we start carrying ourselves differently. We start showing up in a new way. So if we're rebirthing and stepping into that more aligned, authentic version of ourselves, what do you look like? What do you sound like? What color is your hair? She literally told me, I'd pull a Brittany Carmichael and go pink. So how are you holding yourself back from really stepping into your authentic self? This card comes with a promise of release, and to be willing to let go of the things that are leaving your life without resisting the fact that you have to let go to bring something new into your life. Julia says, letting go of my jealous self, not speaking my truth, and not taking action steps towards my acting and writing career. I feel like, Julia, they're all tied to one and the same. The reason why you're not taking action steps towards your writing career or not speaking your truth is because you're still comparing yourself and feeling and harboring that energy of jealousy towards other people. They have it and I don't, right? When I look at other people, jealousy for me just says to me, when people say, oh, I'm so jealous, and I hear that often. I've even heard it from my family, and it makes me cringe because it just it's such a disempowering word. I'm jealous of this. Jealous to me means it's something that you want and you believe you can't have it. Because you wouldn't be jealous if you said, oh, you just took a trip to Greece? Well, why can't I take a trip to Greece? Why don't I just book a ticket? And I mean, my money's just as green as anyone else's, right? So when jealousy arises, it just says to me that you want something that someone else has, but you don't believe you're worthy enough of getting it. You don't believe you're willing or courageous enough to take the action. So it really is tied all into the same. When you have the courage to start speaking your truth and sharing your message, writing your book and stepping into that version of yourself that wants to fulfill her passions of being an actress, then you will let go of all of that jealousy, because there's no resentment of, well, she's doing it and I'm not, because you'll know that you're doing it. She looks tasteful, sober, and less angry. Oh, so beautiful. I see that version of you. I also see how these are all connected. Anger is present because something was unfair from a situation in the past that's caused you to choose alcohol to suppress the emotions that are a little heavy to handle, right? But now you're coming into this more compassionate, feminine, graceful side of yourself, willing to see from a higher perspective and not be the victim of your situation. Laura says, holding on to past relationships and allowing it to stop me from being me and what I want to do. Oh my gosh, sister. She says she's been saying that she needs to start being a better version of myself and acting like the future me. Yes, this is something that my coaching client and I talked about. Said, does the future version of you book $100 a night hotels, or does the future version of you book $300 a night hotels? And if that future version of you, if you were to wave a magic wand and say, if I were living my best life, this is what I would do. Do it now. Act now. When I was 19 years old and I saw that future version of Brittany, I didn't even know it would be Brittany Carmichael. I didn't even have that name back then. When I saw that future version of myself, she was a successful hairdresser, but that version of me was still standing at Claire's making like fucking $6 an hour, dreaming of being a successful hairdresser. So you know what I did? I walked out of Claire's, Forever 21. I worked at both. I was working two shitty $6 an hour jobs so that I could how was that going to move me forward? I left my keys on the counter. I said, I am done with this. I drove to the beauty school. I went into the meeting at 19 years old and I said, how much does it cost? And he said, X amount of dollars. I called my dad and I said, hey, I just signed up for beauty school. Can you pay this $500 deposit? And he said, no, I can't. I don't have that kind of money. And I thought, well, shit, I already signed the contract. Like, I'm meant to be a hairdresser. This is what I want to do. And that was it. That's all I needed. I needed that courageous action to leave my keys on the counter of that $6 an hour job and say, I'm going to fulfill my dreams. I'm going to follow my dreams of being a hairdresser. You know what? I made over $10,000 doing hair on the side while I was in beauty school because I let go of that $6 an hour job. And I trusted that the soul calling me to become a hairdresser was more powerful than this fear of what if I don't go to college and have a good job. I didn't focus on the fear or the lack of what bad thing could happen. Rather, I focused so intently on what is that future version of myself? How do I step into her? How do I become her now? We're all pretending. Why not pretend to be the best version of yourself? Why are we pretending to be mediocre, half-assed versions because of fear or hurting someone else's feelings or thinking that you're outshining other people? We've got to stop living this way. Yay, I love the death card. I love it. Hey, Lisa. Exactly. No longer a victim. Beautiful. And says, I was letting go of what once was my business and birthing the next level of it while also embracing the new level of me. I personally upgraded and now my business is doing the same. Oh, I love that so much. Hey, soul sister, catching you live on our 3-year friend anniversary. Yes. Happy friend anniversary, Lisa. I just shared our live masterclass on the feminine power and understanding hormones and the moon cycle. So when I shared that today in the Shine Tribe and I saw that we had been friends for 3 years, I'm like, oh, what a perfect like celebration and remembrance of like the magic that we've created over the last 3 years together. Hey, Jenny. Yay. And of course, I'm getting ready for an online launch. Yes, I love it. Oh my gosh, you guys are amazing. All right, last card for the week. Wow, we've got a lot of love and romantic vibes floating through this Woo Woo Wednesday reading. The Knight of Raphael shows up as someone like a knight in shining armor. This person is romantic and dreamy. They're very introspective and poetic. This card says, committed romantic relationships and being swept off your feet, situations or topics that make your heart flutter. Okay, let's unpack this because I really feel like this is really drawn towards our passions rather than our romantic relationships. Although we did get the lovers, remember, this isn't just about attracting that perfect loving union. This is about becoming who you are, knowing exactly what you stand for on your own 2 feet so that when you do come into that relationship, you don't lose yourself. Very, very important here. Now, followed by the death and rebirth, and then the Knight of Raphael. This is showing me that this really has a lot to do with stepping into that authentic version of ourselves and following what our heart and our soul is asking for. This card says being swept off your feet and topics that make your heart flutter. There's a lesson that I teach in Shine School, and it's called What Lights You Up. And this isn't such an essential chapter for people to figure out what their passions are. Because when you figure out what you're passionate about, the things that light you up, the things that make your heart flutter, and they most likely come easy to you. I just had a reading today with someone where she's like, oh, I love to sing. I'm so good at it. It's so easy, but I'm going to make it really fucking hard on myself. Why do we make the things that come so natural and so easy to us hard on ourselves? We think it's supposed to be harder. But when it comes so natural and easy, like it can be effortless. You can just be you and not even try and make a huge difference in someone's life. This card reminds me that you should follow those things. That I hate the word should, but real talk, you should follow only the things that bring you joy and light you up. I just had this experience where 2 people came this week to tell me that they've had a reading with someone or a psychic said this thing and it really like threw them off their game and it didn't feel good and it stopped them from doing what they loved. And my thought to them was like, why would you ever take advice from anyone that isn't positive, uplifting, supportive, or just the hard, honest truth? And we know how that feels. It feels a little different than like other people's fears and projections, right? So if you've come up against resistance, if people are challenging your mission, this is an opportunity for you to have even more firm resolve. Because if someone challenges something that you love and it activates that thing in you where you're like, no, I freaking love this. This is what I stand for. Then you can thank that person for their challenge instead of being crippled by fear of like judgment or is this really what I'm meant to be doing? Let's see, trying to rebirth and be playful and fighting the snooze energy. Need balance. Yes, balance has come up a lot this week. I dread retrograde, but ironically dark energy, I find myself comfortable in it. Just need to learn to harness it, then launch into light and not be so stagnant. I actually love retrogrades because it's like your period. It's like a time that you're given permission by the universe to like slow down and rest. Literally so much of my technology and the business stuff that I'm trying to do has just been like no, go play, go play, go play. Even my hair salon, I'm booked through next year in the hair salon, like booked. This week, this retrograde lunar eclipse week, I have 2 full free days in the salon. Like, that never happens. The old version of me would have been like, but I need to work. I've got to work. I've got to work. The new version of me says, oh, opportunity to play, opportunity to rest. There's something better available to me than what was previously scheduled. So if things get weird in your schedule, if things fall off, if meetings kind of disintegrate or get rescheduled, that's an opportunity for you to rest, for you to play, for you to enjoy the time that's been given, because we're constantly moving, we're constantly thinking and this and that, and we don't honor the in-between. We don't honor the resting, like, cocoon phase. We either want to be the caterpillar and we know we're suffering, or we want to be the freaking butterfly, like flying high and shining bright. But for some reason we resist the in-between, and that to me is the most potent and magical part. And if we can stay conscious and aware through that darkness of transformation, on the other side of your rebirth, you will be so much more empowered and enlightened to be able to stay strong in the face of adversity, because it's going to happen. People are going to judge you. People are going to resist your message. You're going to trigger people. And that's all okay. But when you know you and your message, and you believe in that mission that you've set yourself on, then nothing outside of yourself, no authority figure, no mama, no husband, no nobody can come in and knock you off your game. And that is my prayer for you, is that you find so much strength in your own self-worth and value that you don't look to your bank account, you don't look to your Instagram followers, you don't look to your partner to find that self-worth, because it's called self-worth, because no one else can do it for you or give it to you. Mari Paz, am I saying that right? First time watching, thank you so much for tuning in. Instant gratification needs gets us. It's true. Freaking downloadable apps have screwed us all up. Okay, any questions or thoughts that have popped up for you this week on today's Woo Wednesday? It's a heavy energy. I've been napping a lot. I've gone to funerals. Like, it's intense right now. So just ride the waves and let go of whatever is asking to be released, so that you can make room for the new positive things that are making their way into your life. Recap, we've got number 6, the Lovers, a reminder to make choices from the heart, do what you love, and to discover who you really are before you get lost in a relationship or you get lost in creating a business. So sometimes I see spiritual entrepreneurs get so excited about creating a business, and they come from this place of love, and their purpose and their mission and their why is all love-based and intent. And they get 6 months or 1 year or 2 years down the road, and they get back into hustle mode or analytical mode or marketer mode, and they forget why they started the whole process. Number 13, the Death card, or Peace, comes up as a rebirth to say, let go, trust, there's something better coming. The things you've been asking for are making their way into your life. And then the Knight of Raphael shows up to remind you to continue to follow what feels good, to stay open to receiving the love that supports you and surrounds you, to develop deeper bonds with those that do support your vision, and to say yes, say yes to the things that are making their way into your life, instead of saying no because you're afraid. Katie says, I love that you mentioned being a caterpillar or a butterfly. I have a tattoo on me that means so much. It says, when the caterpillar thought the world was over, it became a butterfly. Oh, Katie, I love that so much. My final tattoo that I got were all of these colorful butterflies, as a representation of that, like, transformation, where, like, I was in the dark, I was in pain, I was suffering, and it was because of the way that I was looking at my own situation, and the way that I transformed into this light and free, peaceful butterfly. Literally, my coaching client today said, I saw a butterfly. Every time I see a butterfly, I think of you and just how colorful and light you feel. It's because I'm not taking the heaviness with me. Like, I'm not carrying it with me. I give myself permission to let that go. And I accept, no matter where I'm at on this journey, that it is a repetitive process, and that once you become a butterfly, you will go back into this chrysalis and a cocoon, and you're going to emerge to a different evolution of that butterfly. Your wings will get bigger, they'll get stronger, and they'll get brighter. So we can't resist the stages that we go through. They're all very, very important. What else? Katie, it was so amazing to meet you last night. Thank you so much for showing up to the Goddess Gathering. It was awesome to hear your story and to see that you're willing to do the healing work that your heart is asking for. It's been stopping you from giving all that love out that you have for the world and for yourself, most importantly. Let's see, rebirthing happening for sure. I feel ya. All righty. I think I am spent. I have been reading, coaching, tarotting all day. And Chris is like, are we going to go for a fun date night tonight? So we are actually going to meet one of our Shine Tribe sisters for dinner in Dallas tonight. We are so excited to connect with other like-minded souls. And if you're someone who is not in my Shine Tribe Sisterhood and you feel alone and you need that support group, then please be sure to check out my private Facebook group by searching hashtag Shine Tribe Sisterhood and join so that you feel like you have that support system on your journey of self-discovery, because I know it can feel lonely sometimes, that no one gets you. You feel like the lone wolf or the black sheep. I totally understand. Laura says, I want to be a butterfly. Laura, you are a butterfly. Laura says, waiting for you to come to London. Okay, let's talk, because I've been thinking real hard. Well, I've been imagining and being inspired by this idea of taking my oracle, launching my oracle deck and taking my Goddess Gatherings on tour. So think of it as a Goddess Gathering meets book oracle tour meets like sisterhood party. So I've been thinking about doing these bigger cities across the United States, and then it hit me like, well, why not travel to different places? And Lisa, you're actually here watching. You were the first person I thought of, like, why not go to Ireland? Why not go to England? Why not go to different places in Australia where I have so many amazing Shine Tribe sisters that live in these different places? So London is on my radar. It is happening. Also, Laura, one of the ladies I was doing a reading for is a singer-songwriter out of London, and she's doing one of her premieres or debuts next Thursday in London. I told her to email me all the details, a video of her music, like a music video, and all that information, because I know there are so many amazing soul sisters out of London in the UK. So that would be just so cool to create like a Shine Tribe sisterhood, like powwow in the UK. My friend Stacey Suter is over there in the UK. It's just so beautiful to see so many faces from all over the world. Love it, do it, do it. Done and done. Goddess Gathering is going on tour with the Oracle deck, and we're just going to have a party of it. Also, the last thing I'd like to say is, if you haven't heard, it is the rumors are true. There is our first Shine Tribe retreat happening February 20th, 2020 in Destin, Florida. I am so jazzed about holding the space. I love doing the Goddess Gatherings. Last night we actually hit the 10 p.m. mark, which was like 3 hours. And I said, I know one of these days it's going to get to the point where there's so many people we can't all share. And we're at that point now where I feel like we need more than just 3 hours. We need 3 days, 3 nights, like a whole weekend. And so that's exactly what I'm creating in Destin, is a Shine Tribe Sisterhood Goddess Gathering retreat where you can learn to freaking love yourself and uncover all of those fears that are stopping you from shining bright. I know that there's massive amounts of power and accountability when you come together in a group of soul sisters who support and uplift each other in a sacred space. It gives you permission to really allow yourself the freedom to heal, to transform, to rebirth. And that's exactly what this retreat is going to be. Laura says, wow, sounds amazing. Thank you. Enjoy your date night. I will. Thank you so much. So that is all of my announcements. If you want to be on the VIP waitlist for the Oracle deck, go to brittanycarmichael.com/oracle to make sure that you are the first to know when pre-sales start. And if you'd like a private tarot reading with me, you can always book by going to brittanycarmichael.com/tarot. I look forward to seeing you on Friday for the Elevated Life series with my hubby, Chris, where we teach you simple mindset shifts to create radical transformation in your life. Thank you so much for tuning in for Woo Woo Wednesday. If you know a soul sister who needs this message, please share it or tag them below. I thank you so much for your support, your good vibes, and spreading the karma. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And remember, you have so much light to shine. So go out there and shine bright, sisters. Gotta go to bed now. Have a great date night. Yay. Thank you so much. Love you guys. Bye.